Welcome to the Dr. VTAC Show. This podcast is long-form conversation hosted by Dr. VTAC with the top guests in the world of esport, owners, managers, pros, semi-pros, former pros, and content creators of mini games. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody, to the Dr. VTAC Show. Thank you so much for coming in and stopping by to listen to this Christmas special that we got today. I'm here with Marco Muir, and he is the CEO and founder of M80. And just to give you a little bit about Marco, he obtained a Bachelor's of Art degree in Criminology in Northeastern University in 1996. Following this, also enrolled at Suffolk University Law School, where he obtained his doctorate degree in law in 2000. Additionally, obtained certificate on both bachelor's and doctorate degree in Northeastern Suffolk Law School, respectively. And right there, I think he jumped into the gaming, where he's basically been out through his career. He has worked on various of roles throughout his career, starting as an attorney, specialized in intellectual property management, licensing, and general corporate matters. Then afterwards, VP of Business Development and General Counsel for browser-based social and casual MMO games as part of an executive team for Envoy. I think age 1 and 2 strategy games, if I'm not mistaken. He got quite a bit of a background. So I would like to probably introduce you guys to Marco. Marco, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how are you? It's nice to meet you. It's nice to be here. Happy to talk with you. Happy to answer any questions or talk about like my experiences in the esports space or anything you want to shoot the shit on, right? So just let me know.
Okay. So Marco, where are you actually from?
Originally, I'm from Miami, Florida, is where I grew up. But I came up to Boston to go to undergrad and law school and ended up staying in the New England area ever since then.
Okay, so you're from Boston. Okay. So you don't get that accent like, hey, what are you doing over here? You know?
that would actually be an Italian accent, but
yeah.
But no, I grew up in Miami, so I didn't really have the accent baked into me at a young age.
Okay, I live pretty close to Miami. As a matter of fact, I live 2 hours away.
Nice.
You know where Stewart is at?
Yep.
I'm near that neck of the woods. Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's a lot warmer over here than it is up there in Boston.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Even though it gets pretty cold, you know, sometimes like yesterday it hit out to be like 40 something, 48 early in the morning. I was taking my kids to school and they were like, okay, hold on, let me go back inside to get jackets and everything. Really cold. they're not used to it. I said, well, you know what? A lot of snowbirds think this is just like summer weather for them. It's not that cold for them.
Shorts weather.
Yeah. So how long you been in Boston? You've been there like for many years? I mean, you just moved or?
It's over 30 years, right? So I've been up here about 30 years.
So Marco, how do you see now the stuff that's going on to get into gaming? So what do you see now, the stuff that's going on with Rainbow Six Siege, the future of it with M80? I know you guys are like the big talk. What is going to be like the future of it? I mean, you guys going to do more going to put more content out there, or also what about skin packages or stuff like that? Because a lot of people are dying to get this hold of it.
Yeah, so like, you know, I'm on record as being a big fan of Siege. You know, even before we got into the game, I've been playing Rainbow Six since the first one came out, right? So Siege is always a game we wanted to compete in, and I wanted to compete in at the highest level. You know, got into it with Xset, left after we got relegated, came back, rebuilt a roster with the majority of what we had now. And then took those guys into SI, and they ultimately came over to M80 with us when we launched the organization about a year ago. we've had, been to a lot of majors, had some success, some better than others. Had a lot of success at Gamers 8 this summer in Riyadh as well. Have SI coming up in February. So yeah, I mean, we love playing all year round. Like we haven't had a lot of breaks this year, which has been great. The guys are super motivated coming off of Atlanta, where we didn't have a great showing. And look, I'm super bullish on the future of Siege. Ubisoft's a great partner to work with. The esport is growing in a lot of ways. And I think they have some really great things playing on the roadmap. They've showed some of the teams that they want to kind of develop into next year, the year after, and beyond. But I definitely think Siege will continue to grow. I think the streaming numbers that guys like Jinxie are putting up show that there's still a really healthy appetite for the game. Even our new co-owner Daniil Medvedev is a big Siege fan as well, right? So everyone's playing Siege. There's no other game like Siege out there. No one's developing a game like Siege because it's really probably too difficult to make. So if you're trying to play like a super high level tactical shooter that kind of leans into the gameplay and the metas that Siege has, like there's really no other game to play.
That's
On the
true.
skin side,
Mhm.
M80 didn't have a skin this year, obviously, because we just got into the game fairly quickly with SI. But I do expect that we're going to have some really cool stuff to share with our fans next next season.
Oh, that's good. I can't wait. Can't wait because I mean, obviously it's my favorite color. I don't want to tell my friends.
There you go.
It's my favorite color. I love that neon green. How do you
There
came
you
up with
go.
that name M80? How do you came up with it?
Like we just, we honestly, I honestly really kind of just thought about what embodied kind of what we want to bring from the esports side. And we just thought of like, what's like the grittiest, borderline legal, most like dangerous explosive you can get and kind of bring that kind of firepower to the games that we compete in. And I think we've been able to do that and compete at a very high level on all the titles that we're currently in. Maybe from Valorant to Siege to Counter-Strike to Rocket League now, as well as, the fighting games. So, we just liked it. It worked for us. And you never know with a brand. Like you can spend a lot of time on building a brand behind the scenes and you launch it. And gamers either hate it and you become a meme overnight, or they like it and they embrace it. And we've been lucky enough that a lot of our fans have embraced kind of our brand and our vision. And when we launched the org, my lead designer just told me just no more red, white, and black. Right? We can't do red, white, and black. So we had to go with different colors.
You choose really nice colors. Let me tell you, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorites. My favorite color. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I tip my hat off to you because a lot of people think that CEOs they're just sitting back, popping their feet on top of the table, and just collecting money, or they're on a cruise and drinking margaritas, just having a want a blast. I never seen a CEO as active as yourself, and the only way I'm seeing it because you're always on, Twitter or slash X, uh, and you're there. You're there for the fans. You're there for your team, and I always see you tweeting, and I admire that. I never seen someone so devoted, and I don't want to, put down all the other owners out there, founders, because I don't know all their situation. They must be really busy with some other stuff. So I really tip my hat off to you. I don't know how you do it, but can you give us a little bit of what does a CEO actually go through? How many meetings? What all the complications? Because a lot of people like think, oh, they're just sitting down, just collecting the money. And I'm like, no, it's more to it than that. I think they go through like 14, 15 meetings a week.
I get it. No, I mean, look, every company is different. Every CEO's role is different. We happen to run M80 like a startup, right? So we're a very lean organization. We have, I think, a smaller team than most other orgs do. So each of us has to wear multiple hats, including me. I do everything from brand deals to, to working with our fundraise, to working with revenue, to working with all the esports teams and my VP of partnerships. Dom. So I'm involved in almost all the aspects of the business. And what's really important is as a company grows to hire really good people that you trust, that you can kind of put those jobs in their hands and you can step away from that a little bit, because ultimately, CEO's role is to make sure the company can continue to operate and continue to succeed and kind of set the vision and the kind of like the goals for what we're trying to accomplish as an organization, right? So I try to do all of those things. And again, like I'm very involved, obviously, on the esports side. I work with Don. Previously, he was my coach in Valorant, and we work together now. And I'm building rosters and working with the players. I go to many of the events because I'm a fan. Number one, right? I love the events. I like the players. I want to support them and make sure they're in the best position they can be in to win. But I also want to be there to watch these things happen, because the journey is just as important as like the final destination, right? So like, when you're old one day, you're going to remember the events that you go to, not just, the money that you made. So, I'm very involved on that respect.
Yeah. Talk about that age. I mean, you and I are pulling out the salt and pepper here. So, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 51.
Okay. I'm 46. So,
yeah. So you're a kid.
Yeah.
So, so I'm old, but I don't feel 51. Like I feel, maybe it's because everyone that works with me and for me is like, 16 to 26, 27 at the oldest, right? So like, maybe that keeps me young. Maybe playing games keeps me young still. We're still rating in WoW. We're still playing CS. We're still doing all those things, right? So like, I just, I enjoy the work and it's a lot of fun. I mean, if I just wanted to make money, there's 1,000 other things I could do that would be a lot easier. But I'm very committed to being a part of kind of the resurgence of esports and regrowth of the business model and demonstrating this is a really great space to work in.
That's phenomenal. I want to tell you, I look up to you. That's really phenomenal. I mean, I tell people gaming is for the rest of your life. It's sometimes you would switch games and you I mean, I've been a Battlefield 4 guy, Battlefield 3, Call of Duty. I did Halo for many, many years, and then, but there's a game that never leaves my heart, and that's Flight Simulator. So when you go to Twitch and you see the streamers for Flight Sim, the 90% of them are all late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, retired pilots just flying on Flight Simulator. And I think sometimes, you will find a game and it's for all ages. Gaming is for all ages. And I totally like that. I told, when I'm playing Rainbow and some people, oh man, you sound a little bit older. How old are you? I go, I'm the same age as Dr. Disrespect. And they're like, oh, okay, then you're cool. Because I made a mistake once saying my real age, and they're like, "Oh man, you're too old to hang out with a spy," and they like left. I was like, "Okay, fine." So you're judging me by my age, but as soon as I changed my verbiage and say, "Okay, I'm the same age as Doctor Disrespect," and then they're like, "Okay, fine, you're cool. You can hang out. You can play with us. We'll keep on playing ranked matches." I'm like,
"There you go." Yep. Yeah, there's some pretty cool mods you can actually download for Flight Simulator that turn into more of an RPG where you actually run missions and run events and you fly stuff around like cargo planes and stuff like that. I played Flight Sim, but a couple of my friends downloaded those mods and added a lot to the game actually, aside from just the flying. Right? They're definitely super cool. Nothing like flying over your house, like in a Flight Simulator, and like looking down and seeing your actual house like down on the ground. So that's a cool subgenre of games for sure.
Yeah, they really this the latest one that came out and that just blew the minds of everybody because the quality of the graphics and how it now uses what's being Maps instead of Google Maps, but it uses the Microsoft version. And I don't know what type of algorithm and scaling that they did to it, that it just like you could literally see your house, because they're using GPS images, and you have to have a good internet speed because all that information cannot be downloaded onto a hard drive. So everything is you got to have really good speed to run that game. it's very interesting how today's gaming technology has advanced from Nintendo 64 to the 3DO, if you remember that system, the Atari Jaguar. If I mention this stuff, a lot of listeners are like, "What the heck you're talking about?" You know,
I had them all, man. I had them all,
you
bro.
did?
Yeah, Aliens vs Predator on Jaguar. We used to play the shit out of that, and then I had a 3DO. We used to play Way the Warrior, Crash and Burn. I had all of them, man. I had all
Oh
of them.
man, that 3DO. I remember first seeing the 3DO. It was amazing, and even Steven Spielberg was all over that sucker on one of the presentations for the 3DO, and I was like, he's a gamer too. So many people are
Yeah.
gamers, and a lot of people just don't know it.
Yep.
A lot of people are gamers.
But yeah, so like I said, I played all of it.
Yeah. Now, question with M80, I know there've been some changes. Something's been going on with the roster, and Keno's been a big talk. What's going on? I know he's bench for now at the moment, or is he going to be traded, or what's the future looking like with Keno?
Yeah, so Keno is first and foremost, he's a great human being. He's a great kid. He's a great player. He's been with me for a while, and I have a lot of faith in Keno, and I know he's going to continue to play Pro CE at the highest level. I think sometimes teams just have to make a change for whatever particular reason. That's always like internal team stuff. And for some reason, this team kind of collectively decided that this was, just a move that they wanted to make going to SI. What happens beyond SI, nobody knows. This is just a change for SI. Kino's still on the reserve roster with us. And I think we'll have to wait until after SI completes to see where we shape up. If Kino's still with M80, if Kino's not with M80, I'm sure there's a line of teams that would love to sign a kid like that. So I'm sure no matter what happens, Kino's going to be in a really good place. But I'm very thankful for having him as part of the organization and continuing to be with the org. And we're going to try to find ways for him to stay involved with M80, throughout the year.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know, because I know a lot of people question what's going on, what's going to happen. Yeah, I met Kino through his stream. I mod for him, and I also mod for Spoit. Also, phenomenal young player, Spoit. Oh my god!
Yeah,
And
Will's a special kid.
very special. And he's an elite player, but a very humble player. Very humble. Some people that play nowadays are very cocky and they get their egos, go over their heads. But Spoit never been like that. Not even with me. Very friendly, very outgoing. And I said, wow, this kid here has a bright future. Very
Yeah,
bright.
no, he's a special kid. He's just getting started. He's going to be one of the best players ever played the game. Like when it's all said and done, right? So,
Yeah.
Will works extremely hard in the server, and he puts a lot of time and effort in. Great teammate. Like, he's the kind of kid that if you could clone, Will, like you'd have five, right? So he's terrific.
Yeah, he's very gifted. Very gifted. There's videos of him on YouTube, and it's like, I was like, wow, Spoit. I didn't know he went this far. He went that,
Yep.
that
Yep.
extreme. Just like
And the work, a lot of work goes into that, right? I mean, it's not just something that he shows up and does. He trains really, really hard every day, and he puts in the effort, both in himself and in the server. So it's good.
correct. Now, do you require for them to stream a certain amount of hours, or you put your players to make sure that all of them stream? Make sure they,
Honestly, like I've never had a policy of forcing esports players, like professional esports athletes, like competitors, to stream. If they want to stream, we can give them some incentives to stream. if they like to do it. So we have players like Spoit and Xander, BCJ. They all like to stream, but we don't require anyone to stream. That has to practice 8 to 10 hours a day already on top of that. But what we're like in 2024, we're going to be adding more content, um, creators to the organization and people on the content side dedicated, right? So I'm sure you'll see that fairly soon, early in the year. So titles and
Yeah, that is a good thing because usually what they do to help out with the merchandise, talk about the merchandises that you guys have and s- you know talk about it and the new hats, the new hoodies and etc. Which you guys have a website and people could just buy the stuff there and content creators and also the players that play they could just talk about it. A lot of times on during their streams the questions has always been asked: what keyboard do you use, what mouse do you use, what monitor you use, what's your PC, because they want to get the same thing as what they get, what they have. So
yeah,
that's going to
no,
be
I get it.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's
no, I agree.
interesting. So it's like right now I'm like thinking, wow, SSG really got it by getting Jinxie in there. And I don't know what they did, but they always seem to always go for this for the for the to get the top content creators. I don't know. They did that even with Halo. They try to get an NFL player quarterback, and then now with Jinxie, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Whoever came up with the idea, hey, go get him, go for it. That's the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, Unit is the CEO over there. He runs a great org. SSG is a great organization. We talk all the time. We're friends. We talk about Siege. We talk about other games. Like we'll probably do some events with those guys next year. I think Jinx is great for Siege and great for the game. And, he's a great streamer, really, really hardworking young kid. And I know that SSG recognized that value in him and obviously made a smart move to bring him on. So, yeah, it's good for Siege and it's good for viewership. And, he was pulling like 100K viewers the other night when he did his 1v1 with Shaiko. So that just shows you the appetite for Siege out there. So that people love to watch that game.
Yeah, I saw that with 100,000 viewers. I was like, oh my gosh, that is insane. And you would think that sometimes like players that top players, like let's say for example, Chaiko doesn't he and he's probably considered the best player right now in the world and still doesn't pull that amount. And
Yeah.
now other and even including other players as well that are just as they're really good as well like him, they don't pull that amount. And I was like,
Well, I
man,
mean, streaming is streaming, and professional play is professional play, right? So they're not the same thing, right? And it is what it is, right? But and then you have guys like Spoit who do both at a very high level.
mhm.
So yeah, I mean, everyone's different. Like some people like you just like to see them play, and streaming is entertainment, right? So it's how entertaining are you, and then competitive play is nobody cares how entertaining you are. It's can you shoot straight and like can you like win, right? So and obviously Shaiko does that pretty well. So I don't think he has anything to be worried about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I seen you posted something about Rocket League. What was that about?
Yeah, so like Rocket League is one of the biggest esports in the world. It's one of the best games to watch. Brands love it because it's very brand friendly and brand safe. It's an easy game to put in front of anyone and have them understand it. I can have my 96-year-old grandmother understand that this is basically soccer with cars and appreciate like the skill and watch a Rocket League match. Massive player base, digital goods, teams all over, really healthy ecosystem for esports. Very competitive in North America, no doubt about it. I've been in Rocket League for a couple of years. I've had some pretty good teams. We had never made a major, and we decided to just do a rebuild after the last stage last year, and just kind of revisit where we wanted to go with Rocket League, which is to be one of the best teams in North America. That's our goal, and our goal is to make majors and worlds and hopefully win something or put us in contention. So I immediately reached out after the season to Nick RL, who I think is probably one of the best coaches and one of the best managers in Rocket League in the world, and has just made a habit of bringing teams to majors and always overachieving. And I basically gave Nick the keys and said, I want you to build a team. I want you to build a roster. I want you to run this program, and I'm going to enable you to do that. And all I ask is that we go to majors. So he told me we'll go to majors, and these are the players that we want to go and get. So we went out and got some really exceptional players that we brought together, and we think have a really high ceiling, and it's going to take some time as a new team to gel and kind of to build that chemistry. But I think once we do that, for us, we'll have a really good Rocket League team that'll compete at a high level. And again, like skin sales in Rocket League can be very good if you've got a good team and good brand. So, it's just another esport that we feel really positive about and are excited to be in.
That's awesome. Now, for the fans that don't know, now they know that you're on M80s, on Rainbow Six, Rocket League, and what other games you guys are on?
So we also have one of the best Valorant teams in North America. We just narrowly lost VCT Ascension in Brazil in the summer this year, which would have elevated us to VCT. But we're taking another run at it. We're announcing the new roster in a couple of weeks, which I think people will be pretty excited about. And we feel really good about our chances of getting back into it and competing to play at that level. We know that we're a tier 1 team, so we just have to kind of put the work in throughout the season and challengers to kind of reestablish that. And again, punch the clock at the end of the day. We launched our Counter-Strike team in July this year and have already reached, I think, 22nd in world rankings. It's our best ranking so far. Counter-Strike's been awesome. I love Counter-Strike. It's my favorite esport right now because they just play nonstop. We're always playing events, tournaments, matches, show matches, majors, qualifiers. We're playing Counter-Strike every week, right? So Counter-Strike is probably the biggest esport in the world still. We saw Counter-Strike 2 coming out and thought it was the right time to get into the game. Saw that there's some really good talent in North America that we thought was the right time to go after, and I'm glad we did then before all the other teams started getting into it. Mm-hmm. And we added guys like Swisher and Mobs and Rec from the Americas, and then we wanted to also bring in an experienced IGL from Europe, so we wanted Manx. And then we recently made a move to bring in a new opera, Slacks, from Germany, who's been lights out for us, and just an awesome addition to the team. Coaching is Def, who played Valorant for me previously as an IGL, and I know what Def's all about. And Def's also played Pro Counter-Strike. So we love Counter-Strike. We're excited to be in North America. We want to go to majors. We just qualified for Katowice. We've already qualified for Pro League. So, we're ahead of schedule, but we want to just, Counter-Strike is going to be a long process. We know it's going to take years to build a team that can, win majors. So there's no shortcuts in Counter-Strike, right? You're dealing with all the best teams all over the world that have been developing talent and seeing the talent probably before we are for many years. So we just have to develop the talent that we have and try to continue to build on the success that we've had in the events we've played and just keep getting better and hopefully start to win some international events at these majors and improve the team.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, Counter-Strike is a really intense game, and I seen the stadiums get packed on those events and those majors. Yeah. It's like, oh my God. I was like, well, I thought Rainbows was big, but this Counter-Strike, they have some mad followers. I mean, it's big. It's really, really big. Now, is there any other games you guys are thinking about joining in? Like, for an example, like Halo? I know Halo right now is in a rough spot, but every single time they come out with something new, there's going to be a new team.
When I was at Exit, I had a Halo team. We were probably like a top 6 to 8 team. I think back then we had Suspector and Kratos and some other guys on the team. And, we had success. The problem with, and I think Halo's a great game, and I think it's really made great strides in particular, over the last few months. A lot of the development has really caught up, I think, in terms of what the fan base wants, and it still plays great. problem with Halo for us as a business is that it's really only a viable business if you're a partnered team. If you're not a partnered team in Halo, um, it's very difficult to monetize, at all. And the other part is if you're not a partnered team in Halo and you're not monetizing on the skins, it's very hard to get the best players because the best players want to be on the teams that are partner teams and are generating additional revenue for those players. And so what you generally see in Halo, what you have seen over the last couple of years is it's always the same 3 or 4 teams that are in the final, semifinals, and
Right.
every year. There's very little, like new teams. It's not like Counter Strike where every event, like some teams are popping off and there's big upsets. It's always the same 3 to 4 organizations at the very top because those teams have the best players that have played together for a long time. And they're not and it doesn't really feel like they're adding a ton of partnered teams at a really high clip right now. Maybe it's like 1 or 2 per year. So, if you can't be a partnered team in Halo, I haven't been able to figure out how to make it work, but maybe somebody else can. But definitely Halo Esports is great. It's fun to watch. Great audience, great crowds, fun game. It's just being in the business, you have to make like sense. So that's kind of how we look at it.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm good friends with Renegade and couple. He was with Cloud9, and now he went with Phase. I was kind of surprised, but hello, that's Phase. Probably got get paid better. But I noticed that even there's certain things that I just don't kind of like agree what Halo was doing. It's like I noticed it's the same teams as always in the finals, but also the players are the same ones we're always seeing. It's like a recycle. They just take these same players, and you're going to see this player. He was good on one team. They're going to put him now on another team. He goes, it just goes back, and it just goes in a circle. Then you got some really good players out there that nobody knows about, but never be given a chance. I kind of
Yeah,
like,
I think as I
yeah,
said, when I used to go to the Halo events, sometimes it would actually be more fun to be in the pits and watch some of the lower level like indie teams coming up and competing with each other than it would to be to watch the stuff on the stage because you kind of know where the stuff on the stage is going to go almost 90% of the time.
correct.
And those pits are always fun. That's like real esports, right? So it's good to see it still has that scene. It's good to see it still thriving, and it's good to see they're supporting the game very proactively the way they are right now. The esports ecosystem has to work not just for publishers, but also has to work with the teams as well, right? So you can't. Players don't play for free, and there has to be a way to make a business out of it to stay in it.
That's true. That's true. Um, I kind of like wish that like these in Halo, for instance, have like a challenger league like Rainbow does, and then you could see the future, and then these orgs could pick out the players that they want. Okay, this guy in challenger league did really really good. Well, now it's no longer challenger league, but it could be T1 or T2. So okay, let's pick this guy. He's really good, and you could see the progress, and then you could make a determination. Okay, I would like to get him, and ask my players what do they think about this guy. If he plays good, or not. If you like him, because there's not there's I don't know if some orgs do or no, but I don't see recruiters that go out investigate like they do in like for baseball and the NFL. They just like look at players since they're in high school. Okay, watch out, this guy is going to be really good. I would like to pick him up. And in esports, you don't see that much recruiters out there like going back and forth like, hey, watch out for this guy. This guy's just really good. He's going to be the future.
I mean, we scout players. Where I can't speak for anybody else, but we certainly spend time scouting players. And in some, a lot of times you can do it online. In some cases, you've got to go in person. I remember going to see Zekin play like at a high school LAN event years ago when he was 16, and meeting his mom and dad, and just kind of watching him play. And then we ended up acquiring him, and he's now one of the best Valorant players in the world, right? So like I think the good teams are still scouting, and the good teams are definitely watching who's out there and how they're playing. And we're always, especially in games like Counter Strike, where if you want to bring in like a top star, it's going to cost you, a significant amount of money. We're always trying to identify people that we think, if they have the opportunity, they could really, guys like Swisher, like, if he had the opportunity, he could play at the highest level against the best players in the world and hold his own. And he's doing just that, right? Guys like Slacks, who was like one of the top tier two operators in all of EU, probably behind like Wonderful. And we thought like we could bring this guy in and give him a chance to compete at the top events. And we think he's ready to kind of make that step, right? So like, we're always trying to find talent that we think we can bring to the next level, and not just spend our way to the top. So, that's a process. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but you have to keep trying.
Correct. Yeah. So how was it you guys got Spoiled? How that came about?
Like, that was something that came about fairly unexpectedly. And there's an expressed interest, to potentially move to NA and to be on M80, and we ended up being able to work out a deal with his organization to do that. I mean, Spoid is more than just a pro siege player. He's a content creator. He's a face of your franchise. He's a lot of different things. So, like, he was just someone that we really wanted to be a part of M80 for all the things that Sport is. So, we made a deal work with his prior organization to bring Woes to North America.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, because I see Spoiled like the next Bolo in a way, right up there, content creation, and just his name is right now spreading out really, really big, and he's doing really good.
Yes, I mean, Will's a man.
Yeah, very good. And then also you got Iconic is pretty good too. Really good player. Phenomenal
Yep.
player.
Dave's a great IGL, great player, leader in the server, leader outside the server, like, good person. Like, if you look up and down all the rosters that we have at M80, like, we always try to find good people, that we have confidence in as professionals, and handle themselves in the right way, especially the IGLs. All of our IGLs are very strong individual people, right? So, like, we want to have quality human beings in the organization that represent our teams, and we're always going to be like that. So, we're lucky to have Dave as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember him going to M80 and seeing the video that he put up, and that was like a big. I was like, wow, everybody got really excited about that. I was excited. I was like, man, and not for nothing, you guys put out some really sick videos. Saw the one
Oh, thank you.
that Motley Crue. I said, "Oh God, I love this song." It's been years. I wondered, do you selected that song, "Home Sweet Home"?
I did. Yeah, I scripted that video and I picked the
Thank you.
song. And you'd actually be surprised. We've had a lot of people have very good responses to that video, both for the music as well as the fact that, we really kind of, we flew out to Warren, Michigan, and we shot the piece at BCJ's house. And just, like, a lot of esports is based in LA and kind of looks and feels LA. And it's nice to kind of get into the Midwest a little bit. People play games in the Midwest, they play games in the South, they play games in the Southwest. Like, there's gamers all over the country, not just Los Angeles. So, like, we're based on the East Coast, but all of our teams are based in Austin. So, we definitely like to lean in a little bit to that, and especially with Counter Strike in North America, we wanted to build here. We didn't want to go build an EU team. So it's important that we're kind of representing our fans and our audience here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know that the likes on Twitter, it went crazy. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people loved it, including me. I said they just hit it out of the ballpark with that music, with that soundtrack. Gave me so much memory. I went on YouTube, just played it, and started listening to it, watching the
A lot of people did.
videos.
We
I
got
was
a lot
like,
of views on that. We got like over 1 million views in 24 hours between our post and BCJ's post organically, right? So
wow.
clearly a lot of people like that video.
Oh yeah, of course. You did it. I mean,
we didn't spend a lot. It was just two guys. We just got on a plane and flew out there and shot us going to the airport and driving to Detroit and going to see BCJ. And then we flew back the same day. So we did the whole thing in one day. And just flew there and back. So it was cool. It was good. It was good to see BCJ's family and give them a hug and and to say what's up, and we're excited for the season coming. And the video that we're working on now, though, that's going to be the video. So can't talk too much about that. That's top secret. And we're working on something really cool right now that we've shot recently.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, if that song, that "Home Sweet Home" by Motley Crue. I mean, geez, that was a cherry on the topping. I was like, oh God, I used to listen when I was young. I used to listen to that song every day. I had a cassette, put it on a cassette player, just listen to that song. Loved it.
It's a good. When I thought about the concept for the video, that was the only song that I thought was going to fit right. So whenever I wanted to think about how we were going to shoot it, I'd play the song and kind of like literally paste the song through the cuts of the video. So the song really kind of dictated the whole video.
Yeah, yeah. It went on like a little bit of a slow motion in a way, and walking, getting into the vehicle, and
Yep.
I was like, oh, this guy just outdid himself. That was phenomenal work. I mean, you probably
Thank
want
you.
to get hired to do production or something.
Maybe I got a new career.
Yeah, you may get it. I mean, you've done it all. You went from
You
lawyer.
never know. Never know. I've been a bartender. I've done everything. So like, I'll mix it
Yeah,
up. Maybe my next career is I'll be a director.
yeah,
But yeah, but it's a lot of fun. So like, that's all we can really try to do.
yeah. Me too. I done it. I told my kids I done it all as well. I went to hotel industry, from hotel industry to working in retail and retail stores, and I went into marketing when car dealerships sold cars, and then marketing there. And then now, of course, I'm in the medical field and working EKG tech and looking at heart rhythms and determining what's going on. So that's where I landed. That's my final. I said, this is here. This is where I'm going to stay. I'm not going to go anywhere else. And gaming, that's all. And now I'm podcasting and doing
Yep.
this, and it's fun. Love it.
Cool.
I really love
There
it.
you go, man. You got to do what you love, man. You can't spend your life doing something that you hate, right? So that's no fun.
Yeah. I tried playing. I did streaming, but I noticed it's just takes a lot of time, which I don't have because I'm married. It's not easy. When you're married with kids, it's not easy. And I just don't have the time to dedicate like 10 hours, 5 hours just playing from 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. and streaming it. By the time I wake up, my wife has already packed up and left the house, or probably kicked me out of the house with the computer. So I said, I got to make a balance here. I'll stream
Yeah.
for like an hour or two if I can. And then somebody told me, why don't you get into podcasting? I said, okay, fine. That's pretty nice. I like that. Not a bad idea. They said, you don't have to, you could do it once a week and then you're good to go. So I took my my resume, and I mod for over 30 people. I don't know if you probably know. I mod for over 30, for like 30 pro players. And I said, you know what? I mod for them. I help them out, making sure they don't break any rules, especially with Twitch. And I'm going to start asking these guys to come onto my show. And it's been working out really nice. I'm kind of very happy about that. So
yeah, that's great, man. That's great. You got to keep working to it and scale it and grow it up. Get audience, get your sponsors, and turn it into a business. I mean, obviously, podcasting is a big business, right? So just keep working at it. And it sounds like you're doing this thing.
Yeah, I am. Well, Margaret, I'm going to let you go because I know you're a busy man. I don't want to take too much of your time, and I wanted to make this the Christmas exclusive just for you and get M80 out there. I'm proud that we got an American team that's out doing really, really good, and I root for everybody. I know I'm with a wild card now as communication / Twitch specialist, but and podcasting, but I love everybody. I want
Yeah,
everybody to
man.
succeed. I love competition. If you do good, we're going to do good because it's going to thrive. It makes us thrive to do better because that's what competition is all about. If nobody is good, then what's the purpose, putting more effort
Yeah.
into the gaming? We want everybody to do good. We want challenges. We want to get better what we're at now.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Like we support all the North American orgs. Like we don't, we work with everybody, and it's great to see you guys in Counter Strike as well. It's great to see, you got some kids, some players that I like a lot on your Rainbow Six team. Like Spirit is just a great kid and a phenomenal player who played for me. So it's happy to see those guys having a chance to excel and prove themselves, and they almost made the major. And they'll make the next one, right? So I'm sure I know
Right.
how they work. They work really hard, so I'm sure they'll continue to work until they get
Of course, of course. Now you get to meet all the CEOs of on the NA. You got to meet
I mean,
Ben.
yeah, I run into people, I see people at 7-Eleven, wherever it is. Like, I run into people and we talk shop, and hang out. But yeah, so like when I can, I do, but I don't there's not like some secret meeting of the CEOs in the dark chamber or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's not gonna work. But yeah, I'm pretty available if anybody wants to talk. I'm always around.
Okay. Good. 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 Okay, folks. That's Marco. Marco. Let everybody know where they could find your merchandise, your website, email, everything. Doesn't matter. The stage is yours.
I mean, yeah, you can always check out the team at, M80GG on Twitter and M80.cg on the website and the shop. We have a new drop coming out in January. That's really nice. We're super excited about the quality. The pieces are amazing. So I think our fans are going to like it. And obviously watch our Rocket League teams playing tonight. Actually, this won't be out by Christmas, but
Yeah.
keep an eye on us at Katowice in Poland. I'm excited to play that event in Counter Strike and get started on Valorant season next season.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. Well, thank you so much, Marco. It's a pleasure, and hope this is not the first nor the last you come onto the show. And I truly like the experience. Thank you so much. May God bless you and your family and your organization. Hope everything keeps moving forward. And you got it. I know you got a bright future. Okay.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, dude. Have a good one. Take it easy. Have a
Have a
good
good
holiday.
one. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Fine.